So the ego gives us the most basic part of our identity structure. And we get our basic structure when we're separated from universal consciousness. So picture universal consciousness like an ocean, right? And we're like a tiny drop of water within the ocean. And then along comes the ego, like a little creature, and it wraps that tiny little droplet in a blanket so that it's separate from universal consciousness. And that blanket is your personal story. And when we get wrapped in that personal story, then you think you're separate from universal consciousness. And that's the birth of you. And the ego is the part of us that does that for us. So go ego, right? But the ego isn't much more than basic animal instinct. It's mostly just a structure, like with some working parts. So it uses you, like in your story, for its identity. So the ego is entirely dependent upon you and your personal story for its sense of itself. So it really cares about your story. And the way that it works is that it uses your personal story like to compare you to others so that it has some sense of how it's doing. And it does that because the ego is just basic animal instinct. And so it's focused on survival and competition. And it uses whatever it has at its disposal. And what it has at its disposal is your personal story.